Wow, Michelle, we have some people coming on. We're going to give it a few seconds for everyone to join. I see the numbers are going up as people are logging in.
Great.
This looks
Looking
great.
forward.
This is fun.
Thank you again for this opportunity. Really excited to connect with everyone today.
Excellent. So I think the numbers are evening out, and I know we'll probably have some late people, but I'll do the introduction. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an informative and exciting Holland America Line cruise presentation. My name is Dean Lapham. I'm the Senior Director of Professional Development and Trade here at CLIA, and I'm just going to go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. The webinar will run for about 45 to 50 minutes with time for questions at the end. Now, please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we will get to them during the presentation with Michelle's assistant, Ashley, who's helping out today. And then at the conclusion of the presentation, we'll have some time for some question and answers. So we'll be going through that with Michelle and Ashley. The webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Michelle Sitter, to present to you all about Holland America Lines. Michelle is Holland America Lines Vice President of North America Sales. Her career in the cruise industry began over 20 years ago as a shipboard translator. Bonjour, c'est très bien. And as one of the industry's first future cruise consultants, which ignited her interest in photographing doors around the world. So Michelle founded the MS Masterminds Travel Advisor Book Club in the summer of 2020, which now has over 800 travel advisor members. She is also an ICF certified leadership coach, which supports her deep-rooted desire to make a positive difference in the lives of others through mentoring and career coaching. I'm going to be hitting you up later. In her spare time, she plays competitive soccer, enjoys spending time with her two daughters and her husband in her hometown of Vancouver, BC. So take it away, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Dean. And thank you to my colleague, Ashley Vaughn, who is our Senior Manager of Trade Engagement and Communications. Ashley is going to be managing any questions you have while I'm speaking. And then at the end of my presentation, I will certainly answer questions live as well. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar about Holland America Lines Alaska 2024 cruise programs. I'm so excited to be here with you, and thank you for investing the time to join me today to learn more about what makes Holland America Line the leader in Alaska cruising. Oopsie, sorry, things are jumping ahead here. So as Dean said, my name is Michelle Sutter, and I'm the Vice President of North America Sales for Holland America Line. And I'm based in Vancouver, British Columbia. And as Dean mentioned, cruising has been part of my life since I embarked on my career over 20 years ago working shipboard. I love Alaska, and I'm so excited to share my love for Alaska, but what differentiates the Holland America Line Alaska experience so that you can grow a solid base of Alaska business for 2023 or 2024. We also can't wait to have your clients explore Alaska with the true experts. Whether by land or by sea, they will have the most enriching Alaska vacation experience ever with us at Holland America Line. But before I jump into all things Alaska, I want to share my gratitude with all of you. On behalf of everyone at Holland America Line, I want to thank you for all that you do to support us each and every day. We are truly filled with gratitude for our partnership and appreciate how you share the Holland America Line story with your clients. Our brand has such rich history, and in fact, this year marks our very special 150-year anniversary. Beginning in 1872, our company carried 400,000 immigrants from Europe to the Americas over a 25-year period. The individuals who embarked on a new path carried a light with them that we still proudly carry today. And then it was in 1895 that we offered our first ever vacation cruise. Since then, we've been part of the best memories of our guests with milestone birthdays, weddings, engagements, family reunions, the list goes on. And none of this rich history would be possible without your support. I can't say this enough. Thank you for being at our side for all these years, and we consider you to be part of our Holland America Line family. But now let's jump into all things Alaska. Those who have traveled with Holland America Line know that they have experienced the most complete Alaska vacation and come home wanting to visit new parts of Alaska and the Yukon. As an advisor, it saves you time, which means less work when you recommend a Holland America Line cruise to your clients, because to find the perfect Alaska experience is only with Holland America Line, since we've been offering immersive Alaska experiences for over 75 years. That's actually longer than Alaska has been a state. And it's because of our savvy team at Holland America Line that we are the only ones to offer the most Glacier Bay National Park itinerary options. So what does that mean to you? That means that our guests have the most Glacier Bay departure dates to choose from in the industry to ensure that they get that jaw-dropping moment of pure exhilaration from seeing the spectacular Glacier Bay. Plus, the relationships that we have built with the park rangers make each visit so unique, as guests spot wildlife, as the park rangers spot wildlife for guests, sharing the moving history of the Huna people who inhabit this area, and share their excitement with kids on board in the Junior Ranger program. A few years ago, I took my youngest daughter, Allegra, on an Alaska cruise vacation, and she had so much fun learning from the Junior Rangers about everything that makes Alaska so special. So think about that as well for multi-generational travel. Seeing Glacier Bay up close, as only a Holland America Line vessel can get you, while enjoying time-honored traditions like split pea soup on deck, creates unforgettable memories. The intimate access while on board gives friends and family the opportunity to write their own journey as they move from the high vantage point of the crow's nest to the up-close view on the bow of the ship, which incidentally, I should mention, we're the only cruise line that allows guests at the bow of the ship to view the awe-inspiring Glacier Bay. The other popular reason people want to travel to Alaska is to visit the impressive Denali National Park. You can make this vacation relaxing, in-depth, and effortless for your outdoor enthusiasts by offering them a Holland America Line cruise tour. Denali isn't just any mountain. It's an immersion into Alaska's 6 million acres of untouched land where you can explore some of the most breathtaking scenery in the world. It's also the #1 reason to book an Alaska cruise tour that includes up to 3 nights at Holland America Line's beautiful 60-acre McKinley Chalet Resort. It's the ultimate base camp. Guests will board our luxury Glassstone railcar and travel directly to Denali, giving them a spectacular journey and more time in the park. Plus, the Holland America Line exclusive McKinley Chalet Resort allows visitors to spend their days sightseeing in Denali National Park and their evenings winding down in the comforts of Denali Square, surrounded by the northern wilderness. Also, Holland America Line is the only cruise line to offer a vacation experience to the untamed and uncrowded Yukon. With its rugged mountains, high plateaus, and remote wilderness, 80% of the Yukon territory remains pristine. Long summer days offer you plenty of time to venture into areas largely unexplored, optimal for viewing wildlife and immersing yourself in nature. Along the way, our journey hosts share expert knowledge to help your guests get the most out of their frontier adventure. With more than 20 animal sanctuary and sightseeing excursions, Holland America Line brings those who travel with us more of what they are looking for: wildlife. From the whales and seals of Glacier Bay to the Big Five of Denali, there are so many opportunities to experience the last frontier's iconic wildlife firsthand. Whether your clients are into walks, bike rides, fishing, kayaking, or just viewing the animal experiences, they don't have to waste precious vacation time planning when there are tons of shore excursions that allow them to experience nature in comfort. We're also very excited about a brand new itinerary that is truly special. This 28-day journey crosses the Bering Sea to spend the summer solstice at the Arctic Circle. The summer days are long, so there's plenty of time to explore classic Alaska stops such as Juneau and Sitka, and unique ports of call like Nome and the Kodiak Islands on this grand adventure. For your trip collectors, well-traveled guests look for something new and unique, or those who love the opportunity to be being one of the privileged few that get to enjoy something so captivating as the summer solstice in the Arctic Circle. This is going to be an unbelievable trip, which literally only has a few cabins left before it's sold out. And those who cruise with Holland America Line to Alaska have an onboard experience and perspective they won't find anywhere else. They won't just spot whales from the ship. They'll learn their songs. It's not simply dining on fresh salmon. They can try catching it themselves, and our chefs can prepare and serve it to them the same evening on board. This is the only immersive 360-degree experience in Alaska. And it's not only the up-close and personal access your clients will have to Alaska that makes a Holland America Line cruise the best way to travel. It's all the things they can enjoy on board too. Music lovers rejoice with the variety of genres they can enjoy as they dance the night away, and a delicious meal is always available for those who have an elevated palate. They can view whales in the coziness of the crow's nest, and their every need is anticipated with our personalized service. Only on Music Walk can guests enjoy some blues music at my personal favorite venue, BB King's Blues Club, before wandering to the classic rock hits of the Rolling Stone Rock Room. If they're looking for more cultural enrichment, they can discover more about the stories of the people and places they'll be visiting in Alaska with the illuminating talks on the Iditarod or the Pioneer Women of Alaska held in the world stage. They can enjoy local delicacies while sustainably supporting the ecosystem of Alaska, dining on locally sourced salmon and other treats. There are tons of options at any time of the day for the culinary enthusiasts, from foamy lattes and local Dutch treats in the Grand Dutch Cafe to delicious burgers at Dive In or the sumptuous dishes in a variety of specialty restaurants. With 6 ships to choose from and sailings from Seattle or from my hometown, Vancouver, British Columbia, there are plenty of options for the perfect date and departure for your guest's Alaska adventure. So let's dive into some of our most popular itineraries that have been inspiring new Holland America Line travelers to come and try cruising for the first time, or for seasoned mariners to explore more of the world in the style they have grown to love. We have already touched on the remarkable number of opportunities to explore Glacier Bay, but there's also so much more. The Glacier Discovery itineraries offer multiple glacier viewing opportunities in Hubbard Glacier or College Fjord, in addition to Glacier Bay National Park and Preserve. The elegant, uncrowded ships give guests a front row seat to Alaska's splendor. There are many 7- and 14-day itineraries which feature unique ports of call and offer convenient weekend departures to give your clients more choices that fit their schedules. And don't forget, the prime docking locations that put your clients just steps away from all that Alaska has to offer is unique to Holland America Line, giving them a head start on their daily explorations. The new and very exciting 28-day Arctic Circle Solstice Cruise is definitely a popular new addition to the options for Alaska. This itinerary is part of the tradition of Holland America Line to craft trips that combine enduring favorites with off-the-beat path places. This is an itinerary that's perfect for voyage collectors, those maybe who've been to Alaska before and want something new to explore, and our mariner guests who love itineraries with plenty of time to make themselves at home. Well, I mentioned earlier, it's nearly sold out for 2024. This is a great example of how your clients can enjoy new travel experiences of longer duration. Start generating excitement for 2025 by starting a wait list for those guests who are unable to get their space confirmed on this sailing, so you can reach out to them as soon as we release, our 2025 product. The most popular voyage for the first-time guest to Alaska is unquestionably the 7-day Alaska Inside Passage, round trip from Vancouver. Guests will visit the popular Glacier Bay and sail the scenic beauty of the Inside Passage. Plus, with visits to Juneau, they can hop on a whale watching excursion or canoe the waters rich with sea life around Ketchikan. Alaska offers some of the most vulnerable and beautiful wildlife in the world. Holland America Line is so proud to participate in programs that protect marine zones so that our guests can continue to enjoy these wild and natural areas for generations to come. They can get up close and personal with these adorable and majestic creatures on many excursion choices to make their vacation perfect and memorable. For those who want to avoid the international flight to Vancouver, a 7-day Alaskan Explorer from Seattle is a very convenient choice as well. This itinerary is truly a hit because of its Saturday to Saturday schedule, which makes it easy to fit into a work week and includes visits to popular spots like Juneau, Sitka, and Ketchikan. In addition to some spectacular cruise options that are round trip, there are also opportunities to sail from Vancouver to Whittier for those guests who want to explore more of the inland of Alaska. They can choose from a northbound or southbound itinerary, which is specially suited for those who want a more in-depth exploration of the interior of Alaska. For your clients who have tasted the Alaska coast on a cruise and crave more, they can combine the best of an Alaska cruise with an unforgettable journey into the heart of Alaska's interior with a cruise tour. The 2024 cruise tours open for sale on February 8th. And Denali National Park is one of the top reasons people travel to Alaska. And not only does the park offer breathtaking scenery, they can catch the Big Five, which includes moose, caribou, and even bears. And it's the Dalles sheep, though, that deserve special recognition because they are the reason Denali National Park was created in the first place. Your host on the Tundra Wilderness Tour, which is included for all guests on a 2-night or longer Denali stay, will be sure to point them out on their Zoom cameras as you travel deep into the park. With an Alaska Cruise Tours, guests get direct to the heart of Denali with a scenic ride on our McKinley Explorer as the serenity of the backcountry envelops them before arriving to the inviting Holland America Line McKinley Chalet Resort at the gates of the park. Accessing remote areas is effortless on private rail cars and luxury motor coaches. Your clients don't even have to handle their luggage, which will be directly transported to their room. With over 75 years of experience in Alaska, Holland America Line brings unrivaled expertise, which also means guests can spend their time enjoying the sights of Alaska while we take care of all of the details. We have numerous options for cruise tours to Denali, and based on the total length of time your clients want to travel and how many nights they want to spend in Denali, there is a perfect package for them. The cruise tour options range from 1 to 3 nights, and they can choose if they want to do land or cruise first. If you're new to selling cruise tours, getting to know the details of the D6 program will allow you to either reduce or extend the trip to other packages, easily based off this quintessential itinerary, which is one of the most popular options that we have. And once you learn the Denali cruise tour programs, the Yukon options are pretty much set up the same. The Y2 shown here is incredibly popular because it's a 14-day trip with tons of time to explore with a week at sea on board and a week in the backcountry. Once you feel comfortable with the options and inclusions of the Y2, you can easily reduce the total length of trip or find another combination that focuses on what your guests truly want to enjoy. More land or more sea. The Yukon is unspoiled and rugged. It has been called the Patagonia of North America and has a rich history of the Klondike Gold Rush, which your clients can enjoy on the Holland America Line White Pass Railroad. This experience is part of the Yukon Cruise Tour and can be enjoyed as an excursion from Skagway for cruise-only guests. The Yukon Cruise Tour is the best rated experience from Holland America Line across all of our products and itineraries because it combines the ease of travel, dedicated travel hosts to ensure every step of the trip is seamless, and offers exploration of some of the most stunning scenery in the world. And I want to remind you what I mentioned earlier. Holland America Line is the only cruise line that offers a package and vacation experience to the Yukon. This handy comparison guide shows you at a quick glance what each package contains so you can find the exact program that fits your client's needs and schedule. Another great tool to leverage in selling Alaska are the Great Land dining plans, which make your clients' on-trip planning even easier. It can be somewhat intimidating for some guests to think about the remoteness of Denali and if there are restaurants and how they'll find them or get to them. So the Great Land dining plans offer a breakfast-only option or 3 meals a day and can be added onto their package before they depart, giving them peace of mind that they have their land-based meals arranged so they can spend more time relaxing and enjoying Alaska and the Yukon's spectacular sights, amazing wildlife, and historic outposts. Now, I really encourage you to maximize the Alaska 2024 launch by working your database for clients who have expressed an interest in wildlife, the outdoors, exploring somewhere new, and of course, Alaska. I should mention that Alaska is the one destination where we see the most first-time cruisers and first-time Holland America Line cruisers as well. And so this is a great opportunity for you to also think about guests in your database who haven't cruised before and are the type of guests who have bucket list trips that they'd like to fulfill, as the best way to see Alaska is on a ship coupled with a cruise tour. Then you can leverage our great launch offers to send them an email, post on social media, or even call your top clients to share why now is the best time to lock in their 2024 vacation, because through March 31st, they can enjoy a bonus $400 onboard credit, up to 30% off with a free balcony upgrade, the elite beverage package to enjoy all those great hot chocolates and free crew appreciation, which are the gratuities, plus so much more. And we recommend that you also promote Alaska to those who know and love it best, our mariners, our repeat guests. These clients have experienced Holland America Line before, usually on an Alaska cruise, and they want more. So offer them perhaps a Denali cruise tour, or for those seeking something very special and unique, offer a Yukon cruise tour. With each product launch, we have a special Mariner-only offer so you can target this segment of customers quickly and with a great closing offer. Make sure you ask new customers if they've cruised with Holland America Line before so you can add them to your product launch distribution list when these great offers come out. If you book a group of 24 or fewer people on a cruise with Holland America Line, you will get some extra perks. These include accelerated tour conductor credits at a 1:10 ratio with a maximum of 2 credits, 2 additional gap points per group, and more. So think about those family groups you may have in your database already. These are great options for grandparents who want to travel with the whole family or groups of friends that want an exploration for vacation. The Holland America Line cruise experience and cruise tour experience in Alaska and the Yukon is a perfect option for multi-generational travel, family reunions, groups, alumni groups. So think about how you can leverage these benefits and work with your business development manager on learning more about these connections, options, and group promotions. I'd also like to talk to you about how GOHAL has moved to ONESOURCE. You're likely familiar with ONESOURCE cruises if you work with our sister brand, Princess. You can now find all of your Holland America Line resources for marketing, training, and much more on this platform you already know so well. So check out other opportunities to target Alaska clients that we may not have touched on today. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, reach out to your local business development manager or inside sales representative who can be your on-the-go contact for brainstorming ideas into successful sales. For those participating in today's webinar, you can also download the flyers that we have posted, which are the Denali Suites flyer, the Cruise Tour Dining Plan, and 2024 product planners. We will also, in partnership with CLIA, be sending a follow-up email, which will include a link to this recording and these flyers as well. To access the 2023 Alaska Product Planner, you can go to ONESOURCE to access those itinerary details and many more other tools. I want to thank you for your time today and can't wait to work with each and every one of you to grow a solid base of Alaska business for 2023 or 2024. We also can't wait to have your clients explore Alaska with Holland America Line. We are the true experts in Alaska. We have the most Glacier Bay permits in Alaska. As I mentioned, we're also the only cruise line to go to the Yukon. And with our own motor coaches, hotels, and the biggest transportation network on the ground in Alaska, we are the experts to take your guests there with over 75 years of experience on land and at sea. They will have a most enriching Alaska vacation with us at Holland America Line. Some of you have asked me to also share with you details about the MS Masterminds Travel Advisor Book Club. I started the MS Masterminds Travel Advisor Book Club in the summer of 2020 for travel advisors who wanted to connect and be part of a community that would focus on reading on personal and professional development. The MS Masterminds Travel Advisor Book Club started with 25 members and now has grown to over 800 members, as Dean mentioned earlier when he introduced me. So if this is something that you are interested in, you can find us on Facebook under MS Masterminds. And we have just finished reading our 10th book, Give and Take by Adam Grant, and have a book discussion on that tomorrow if you're interested in just jumping in to hear more about that. It's been an enriching community with travel advisors that have, from what they've shared with me, really benefited from the experience and the community. And once again, on behalf of the entire team at Holland America Line, thank you for joining us today and for investing your time to learn more about why Holland America Line is the #1 choice and best choice for your clients in Alaska. We appreciate your support, your partnership, and all that you do to support us. Thank you so much.
Michelle, thank you. That was awesome. Wow, a lot of great information. Those itineraries look amazing. It looks awesome. So I have a few questions for you, if you don't mind. And those of you who are online, please keep entering those questions, and Ashley or myself will get to them as soon as possible. So one of the questions, if you were just starting out again as a travel advisor, what would you recommend? Because I know you have a career counseling background. What would you recommend are like some of the top 3 things you would do to start? You know, maybe it's just something like an attitude towards starting, or maybe it's like even a practical idea or tip that you would give to a new travel advisor.
Great question, Dean. The first thing I would say is that what is really important, and I think this is probably advice that could be given to not only a new advisor, but seasoned advisors as well, who are very successful will agree that what can drive your success is not trying to be all things to all people. So finding your niche and passion, aligning yourself with a few key suppliers and areas of expertise, and then really investing the time to become the expert in those areas or with those suppliers, so that you can share your expertise and give that confidence to your clients that you are very knowledgeable in those areas. And when you are picking those areas of expertise or those niches, is aligning those with what you're passionate about, because when we talk about what we're passionate about, it engages and brings people in. And so that is really key. So at the foundation, I would say the first thing is not to try and sell every single supplier and every single destination as your area of expertise. Find your niche and become and invest your time in that. Secondly is I would work on the database, on your database, and really focus on how you're going to connect to build your database in your community. So whether it's becoming part of organizations, going to meetups, social media, whatever it is that you can do to expand your database, is to keep that as a priority of your day-to-day versus waiting for leads to come in. And then the third point I would say is leverage social media at the very beginning. This is a great way to connect globally and to source new clients. I was recently on hosting with Ashley the MS Masterminds Travel Advisor Book Club Summit at Sea on the Conings down to Alaska in August of last year. And one of our attendees shared with us about how she posts these 30-second TikTok videos on her travel experiences and how it's actually generating sales from new clients. And she shared about this amazing sales she did from a TikTok video. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever platform you can get on, I would encourage you to leverage social media and leverage video as much as possible. People engage more with video than they do with posts and with photos. So if you can leverage the power of video when you are traveling, take as much footage as you can. Take advantage of those FAM opportunities, or when you're on your personal vacations, to take snippets of videos, always thinking about how you can share that experience with your clients so you can make travel a reality for them and not just a dream.
That's such good advice. Thank you so much. Another question. With Alaska, there's so many wonderful things to see on these excursions. So what would you recommend for the travel advisors to their clients? Should they book ahead for the excursions or once they get on the ship?
Great question. Well, the first thing I would say is I would encourage the travel advisors when they are going through the booking process or the consultation process with their clients, is to ask a lot of questions centered around what they're hoping to see and do when they are in Alaska. So at that, asking that question can also help you determine whether or not the cruise only option or the cruise tour option is the best option. So that would be the first thing, because depending on what they answer, they may not realize that some of the things, they being the clients, may not realize that some of the things that they want to accomplish maybe can only be accomplished on a cruise tour. So it's important to ask those questions up front. And then, yes, absolutely, book the cruise or the shore excursions in advance, because people, generally speaking, is unlike other itineraries where some people may go on a Caribbean cruise 6 or 7 times in their lifetime, and on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th time, they may not even get off the ship. When I used to work on ships, we used to have guests when I would work on the 7-day round trip itinerary who would literally just come on the cruise to enjoy the ship and not even get off the ship because they've done the Caribbean so much. I use that as to contrast that in Alaska, it's the opposite. Everyone wants to see as much as possible and get out and see the wildlife and experience it firsthand. So there can be, to avoid disappointment, you want to book those shore excursions up front, get the ideal times. On some days you may want to do 2 tours, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So definitely encourage booking in advance, and you can find all the details of the shore excursions on our website. And once you're on board, I didn't talk about this in the presentation, but Our Navigator app is a great app where if there's anything they want to add, they can do so directly from their Navigator app while on board.
Great stuff. One of the other things about Alaska that I think you could probably tell us a little bit more about, like I've done the Alaska cruise once, and one of the biggest things is to find a good space to sit and just watch the scenery. It is absolutely magnificent. So would you have any other tips? Because there's so much to see. You just sit there awe-inspired looking at the scenery as you go up to some of these ports. Do you have any other recommendations for what you can do when you're traveling? And I know as a photographer, you must just take amazing photos.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, of all the itineraries, I think Alaska is the one cruise destination that you have to definitely highlight the benefits of booking a veranda to your clients, because having the ability to see these beautiful sights from the comfort of your balcony with a blanket and ordering room service or, you know, a glass of champagne is something you just can't replace that. So there are many other wonderful places to view the sights of Alaska. Up in the Crow's Nest is one area that's beautiful. As I mentioned in my presentation, we're the only cruise line that allows guests at the bow of the ship. And even if you do have a veranda, you definitely have to get on the bow of the ship to take a photo, because that is a spectacular experience that you'll never forget. But I would say this is the one place you really want to encourage your clients to book a veranda so they can enjoy those views from the comfort of their veranda, because it's like a full day of cruising. And also when you're coming back through the Inside Passage, there's just so many different opportunities to watch wildlife and enjoy nature, and in doing so from the veranda is just the most comfortable and the best way to do that.
Excellent. Food. We have to talk about food, Michelle. So are there any meals that you would just recommend that are on some of these beautiful ships from Holland America? What's your favorite go-to?
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to qualify my response with this. I'm gonna tell you about my favorite foods, but then I'll tell you about everyone else's, because I am vegan. So my favorite foods may not be everyone else's, but what I should share for those of you who have vegan or vegetarian clients, I love sailing with Holland America Line to eat. So what you have to tell your clients is to ask in the dining room for the vegetarian/vegan menu. And so there's actually a full menu that's all vegan options. So there's about, I want to say, I can see the menu in my head because I know it almost off by heart, but call it like 5 appetizers, 2 different kinds of salads, 2 different soups, and like 6 or 7 mains, and like 3 desserts that are all vegetarian and or vegan. And they can make actually like the vegetarian options vegan as well. And so it's honestly like the options that we provide on board on the vegan and vegetarian side are so extensive compared to any other cruise line that I've personally cruised on and on land. So from that perspective, it's awesome. So my favorite meal are the Beyond Mexican tacos. I am half Mexican, so I am partial to those. But what I have heard from others that they love, the Pinnacle Grill offers this unique dish that's, and Ashley is going to type the actual name of it because I don't know the name of it, but it's a bacon dish. And it's like one of the specialties of the Pinnacle Grill, which is our specialty restaurant steakhouse. And that one it comes in this amazing presentation, and our guests rave about it. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention Tamarind, which is our Asian fusion specialty restaurant, which is my favorite specialty restaurant. They have amazing options, vegetarian, and like the shrimp tempura I've heard is amazing, and the wasabi steak. And oh, I could go on and on. Whenever I'm sailing and I'm taking travel advisor with me and hosting, I always make sure to take them to Tamarin and love watching how they just enjoy the amazing cuisine at Tamarin. I don't go to Pinnacle Grill because the bacon and the steak, it's a little harder to accommodate me, but I know that all of our clients rave about the Pinnacle Grill experience as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michelle. So I'm going to reach out to Ashley. So Ashley was here online helping out as well. Ashley, were there any questions that I missed that you wanted to bring up for everyone?
So we're getting a lot of questions on Lincoln Center Stage. I will go ahead and just address that really quickly. So with, as we come out of the pandemic, we've been reassessing some entertainment options on board, and Lincoln Center Stage is one that's going to be modified from how it was operating before. It is moving from quartets to an ensemble performance that will be done in the world stage, and it will be rotating around the ships. So we're still getting some more information on all of that, but we just wanted to kind of give an update on that change. I know several of you noticed that. And then another change to the world, or to the music walk, is the Rolling Stone Rock Room, which is a new mashup, if you will, of the BB King's performers and Rolling Stone performers that will be on some of our ships as well. So there are some slight entertainment changes, but we should have more of a formal kind of breakdown of all of that for you guys very shortly.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ashley. So again, anybody, we are answering a lot of these questions. Ashley's done a great job of answering directly to folks. And if we missed any of your questions, Michelle and Ashley will be giving your name, your email, and the question that you asked in a follow-up report. And then they will try to get back to you as soon as possible on that. So with that, I want to thank everyone. And Michelle, do you have any parting words for us?
First, thank you, Dean and Clea, for giving us the opportunity to share the Holland America Line Alaska experience with the travel advisor community. And second, thank you to all of you who made the time to join us today. I see you've all stayed on to listen to all the questions and answers, and we really appreciate your engagement and support and commitment. Thank you for all that you do, and please connect with me if there's anything I can personally do to support you. We appreciate you.
We are getting a ton of thank yous, Michelle, right now coming from a lot of our agents. They're saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Great presentation, excellent information. Love my time in Alaska on Holland. One of my first trips was on Holland America back in the 1980s. That was a comment that I saw that came in here. They love the music programs, helping them sell to their clients. And we want to thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much, Ashley, for being here today. And for everyone, we'll see you out on the seas. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.